Welcome back to this week's AMT Fresh Produce Market Report made possible by Villa Crop Protection. The past week, the potato price increased by 7% to R46.34 per 10 kg. Tomato prices dropped sharply to R9.10 per kilogram, while onions decreased to R39.94 per 10 kg. Carrots traded 16% lower at R3.49 per kilogram. Peppers dropped by 13% to R17.20, while cabbages increased to R1.60 per kilogram. Sweet potatoes decreased to R5.25, spinach jumped to R2.42, while butternuts slipped to R10.94. Pumpkins increased by 6% to R7.21, garlic dropped to R46.11, while green beans decreased to R11.06, and cucumbers also traded lower at R13.11 per kilogram. With world-class solutions like Masterlock, tailored for South African conditions, Villa helps you manage risk and increase productivity with research-backed confidence. We are now at the end of the month, which can boost demand and support the vegetable market prices, which was severely under pressure over the past month or so. Expect potatoes to remain on current levels this week despite better demand expected. Slightly higher volumes can unfortunately limit any upward potential. Prices can, however, drop back down again towards the middle of November. The heat over the past week resulted in more red tomatoes on the markets, with the winter producers finishing now and summer producers starting up. Better demand can support prices again this week, but Brits and Limpopo areas are starting to increase production at the moment, which can, coupled with the more red tomatoes that we're seeing on the markets, keep price increases limited for this week, unfortunately. Tomato prices can decrease again when demand drops again in the middle parts of November. I feel that onion prices can continue to decrease towards the end of the year due to more volumes expected. Other vegetables are also under severe pressure still. Carrots are now 38% lower than a year ago, cabbages 45% lower, sweet potatoes 27% lower, spinach 12% lower, and garlic about 25% lower than a year ago. There are, however, some positives as well, with peppers still well above last year's price levels, now 27% higher, while butternuts and pumpkins remain extremely scarce and expensive. The latest butternut price is now 193% higher, and pumpkins are 176% higher than a year ago. We are, however, getting reports that production is increasing and that these prices can also start to normalize over the next month or two. We had a better week over in the fruit markets, with bananas increasing to R11.21, apples also traded higher on R13.59, and pears increased to R9.61. In the citrus market, oranges jumped by 13% to R8.29, lemons increased to R6.70, narkies dropped to R8.66, and grapefruits also traded lower on R7.21. Avocados moved 5% higher to R24.47 per kilogram, while table grapes increased to R75.65. Pineapples increased to R11.58, while blueberries decreased to R46.75. Watermelons dropped to R2.22 per kilogram last week. Looking ahead, we are expecting most fruits to stay in this upward trend until the end of this year at least, with apples, oranges and avos that can extend this higher price trend into February next year as well. Table grapes and watermelons are, however, the exception, with prices that can drop sharply as local production starts to ramp up. That's your AMT Fresh Produce Outlook for the week, made possible by Villa Crop Protection. Remember to follow AMT on all social media channels for daily updates, and we'll see you again next week with the latest market trends.